Away from the hustle and bustle of San Luis Obispo's downtown in the heart of the railroad district, you'll find Cafe Roma, an Italian-American restaurant that we're going to be visiting today. I'm Ty, an American-raised Vietnamese student at Cal Poly, but I've always been fascinated with the origins of Italian-American cuisine. Here today to help me explore this is Marco Rizzo.
All right, my name is Marco Rizzo, and the restaurant is Cafe Roma. I'm owner, manager, kind of do a little bit of everything here at the restaurant. So the restaurant is a family-owned restaurant, and it's been in our family for 45 years. So we started in 1980, and my mom and dad started this restaurant. But prior to that, my father was in the business since the 1950s. So we've been in the restaurant business over 75 years. This is everything to my mom, first of all. She started this restaurant when she was 40 years old, 42 years old. And it meant moving out of Los Angeles. It meant creating a life in San Luis Obispo. And she really jumped in and did the cooking for the first 15 years. And to this day is a very active part of the restaurant. My mom's kind of style, she even though we're Northern Italian, she likes Tuscany as well. And in Italy, a lot of restaurants are just pretty simple decoration. Stucco walls and a few paintings on the walls, and not super elaborate. This bar actually is a little more decorated because we have history on it, and sports and bicycles. When we reopened Cafe Roma in 1980, my dad had pulled out some of his old menus, from the Corsican restaurant, and he loved his veal dishes because that was very traditional in the 50s. So that's why we saw like a veal marsala, a veal piccata, the escargot.
We got to the restaurant later in the night at 7:30, which I guess is later than I usually eat, but actually earlier than the Italian dinner, which usually starts at 8 o'clock due to working hours and weather, according to this Reddit thread. As with many Italian meals, we were served bread at the table before ordering our appetizers, including fried mozzarella, steamed clams, calamari fritti, and the aforementioned escargots. Fun fact, calamari fritti, or fried squid, dates back thousands of years back to the Romans and is a good example of seafood in Italian cuisine. Our main dish was something I've been wanting to try for forever, risotto. This is Osso Buco alla Milanese, or Milan-style veal shanks.
Typical of northern Italy is the Osso Buco alla Milanese. And that's a dish where we have veal shanks, and they're braised with carrots, celery, onions, a little red wine, probably braised for a couple hours at least. And it's served with a saffron risotto. And risotto is a rice dish from northern Italy. And it represents, two of the crops that you get in northern Italy. One is the rice fields are very traditional. They've been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. Veal coming from the dairy business, and the veal shanks is a very typical dish.
For our dessert, we had a panna cotta, which is a cream thickened in gelatin. Finally, we ended the night by having a shot of espresso. While the food was delicious, I gotta talk about the health aspects of meals like these. Italian-American diets are often considered carb and fat heavy, but your average restaurant meal isn't always a good indicator of a culture's diet, especially when my friends and I are trying to have a good time. While the typical Italian diet doesn't contain many carbs like the ones consumed today, the main dishes are usually meat and salad, and many vegetables are also served as side dishes like eggplant parmigiano. This balance is more well reflected in their preset 3-course meal, as seen here. Huge thanks to the Rizzo family for paying for the meal and giving me the opportunity to talk about them and the history of their restaurant. If you want to go visit for yourself, they're open Monday through Saturday from 4:30 to 9 p.m., right across from the slow train station. Thanks for watching.